Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and some of the friends that I can see in the audience. Really pleased to be with you today for the 9th Annual New York City Climate Week. It's an honor to be with so many climate action leaders from business, from states, regions, cities, and national governments. We all know that today climate change is a massive challenge for our generation. The destruction that's been wrought by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma and the massive floods in India, Nepal, and across South Asia over the last 2 months reflect the growing vulnerability of people and economies to the growing intensity and frequency of extreme weather events. You know the challenge, and you know that the answer lies with you. It is a collective responsibility. And today I really take the opportunity to commend everyone's efforts. As the Secretary General said in May, the sustainability train is moving. And you're providing the fuel, the energy, clean energy. It's not dirty fuel of the past, but clean power of the future. And the engine's no longer huffing and puffing smoke, but it's not moving fast enough either. And not everyone is on board. So we must raise that ambition. We're ready to work with you, engage with you, support your efforts. The Paris Agreement was a monumental achievement, and we all know the efforts that it took to bring it to realization. But agreements are just pieces of paper if those who need to implement them don't follow through with the actions that are necessary. You have the power to define the pace and the extent of implementation. COP23 will be an important step for the facilitative dialogue, for the common approach to the rulebook, and your active engagement at the highest levels in Fiji and in Bonn are going to be key to keeping that momentum. Your commitment to a low-carbon, resilient future is also making an incredible difference. The news from your organizations and subnational governments makes us really optimistic. The insurance industry has innovated, the auto industry is transforming, and we see clear progress on renewables. Businesses are not only delivering renewable energy and new storage technologies at greater speed and lower cost, but also they're creating a huge demand. Initiatives include the RE100 program, which only last July surpassed 100 major global companies committed to using 100% renewable electricity, energy, productivity. And with the launch tomorrow of the EV100 program, I'm expecting a leap forward in the global auto industry's commitment to electric vehicles. Further, the Under 2 Coalition, a total of 177 jurisdictions across 6 continents, are saying, we are not going to wait for national governments, we cannot afford to, and we commit to the Paris Agreement goals ourselves. And for that, I think they deserve applause. Please clap. Serious actions such as these give national governments the confidence to commit to the Paris Agreement themselves and to raise their ambitions. This weekend, we witnessed Canada, the EU, China coming together in Montreal to strengthen these efforts. We all need to take up the challenge of increasing ambition in the lead up to the Secretary General's Climate Summit in 2019 and the critical moment of 2020, when we must see the emissions curve emphatically bend. There are 5 steps that I believe we need to take to make that happen. First is really deepening the engagement. While many businesses are taking up climate action in the developed world, a vast majority of developing countries are still facing significant challenges to engage the private sector in many of the investments and the pipelines that need to be created for these actions. We need to accelerate private sector investment and innovation in all parts of the world. That means ensuring that renewables do not benefit only the wealthy, but allow countries to leapfrog to high-tech clean energy systems. Second, we must manage the transition for transformations, real transformations in people's lives at the lowest level. We have to consider and prioritize the needs of communities impacted by the ongoing transition, especially in the energy sector. We should be conscious that this transition needs to be managed for those losing jobs and livelihoods by creating new opportunities and new vistas for them. It is not just about creating jobs. It is about spreading prosperity and sustainability. It's about leaving no one behind. It's about giving hope and dignity to everyone. Third, we need to maintain the momentum. No backsliding. I know it's a popular dance somewhere, but no backsliding in this case. We must promote benchmarks for delivering against the Paris agreements across businesses and states and cities, and work with national governments in removing the barriers. Fourth, we should prioritize disclosure. We need a clear vision of the material and financial risks that companies, cities, and regions face from climate change. Such disclosure is critical for the financial stability of markets and will create demand for greater investment in low-carbon and climate-friendly opportunities. Finally, we must ensure greater recognition of the effects that will make us go forth in the manner in which we ought to. We need to deepen your engagement in implementing the Paris Agreement. Tracking of progress and transparency will be crucial for this effort. If we can undertake the steps that we've outlined here, I'm confident that the 2019 summit, a milestone in the support that the SG would like to give to this momentum, will be important towards the success of the Paris Agreement and the Sustainable Development Goals. We have the UN General Assembly all this week, and the messages that we hear from you and those that we bring here, we will continue to reinforce in the opportunities that we have to meet with leaders and other stakeholders as we try to attain what is an ambitious agreement. But as one person said this morning, the 2030 Agenda, the Paris Agreement are all possible in our generation. And I think that we need to put concrete steps and really just walk the talk. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share a few minutes with you.